WIFO-FM, Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, 105.5 FM. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by First Southern Bank, Van's Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn & Associates.
Hi, I'm Mandy Yeomans.
And I'm Raymond Brown with First Southern Bank. As your locally owned community bank, we're here to help our community grow. Our customers are why we are here. You can tell we want your business.
We offer all types of deposit products, personal and business. We have fast, efficient service, and yes, we have online banking too. I'm sure we have an account to fit your needs. Stop by or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
We're FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jesup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner specials. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the Big Dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
Are you looking for an insurance company that you can call and talk to a live person? Are you looking for an insurance company where you can walk in and talk to an agent? Are you looking for an insurance company that offers multiple companies so they can try and get you the best rate? If you said yes to any of these, then you need to call or come by O'Quinn & Associates Insurance Financial Services. We offer multiple companies so we can find the best fit for you. Give us a call at 385-1000 or stop by our office at 212 South First Street right here in Jesup.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO. And Bob, we got a special guest on the phone with us this morning. Who do we have?
Well, we got State Representative Buddy Deloach with us on Wednesdays. Buddy, always good to talk to you. How things going up in Atlanta?
They're beginning to get busy. There's a lot of conversation about several bills, particularly an election bill where some folks are pushing ranked choice voting. I'm not quite there yet. I think there might be a better solution, but we certainly need to take time to make sure whatever we do, we get it right. We don't need to get in a hurry about doing that. I also have to say when we begin that Bill Werkheiser wanted to be remembered, and he wants people in Wayne County to know that he misses being their representative.
Well, he gave us a great name for our show, Wednesdays Without Werkheiser, so we're in good shape.
Yes, Wednesdays Without Werkheiser, so
That's
we
right.
will not forget him, will we?
No. Well, tell us about the mid-year budget being approved. Your thoughts on the budget?
It's got a lot of good things in it. We're going to follow up with the need to focus on health care. There's a nice tax cut in there, and there's also a provision for a refund on your ad valorem tax that will come from the state and go through the counties. But it doesn't cost the county any money. The counties don't lose any of that ad valorem tax. That's coming out of the state budget. So I think people will look forward to that. And that sort of tax relief helps everybody. It's not just those at the top of the rung. That'll help every homeowner out there.
But it reminded, we talked to you at Dixon Issues. Our representatives are on several committees. What committees are you on up in Atlanta?
There's a long list. It starts with I chair ethics. And I'm on insurance and natural resources and juvenile justice. I'm on the Judiciary Committee, and Defense and Veterans Affairs.
You must stay in a lot of committee meetings. You're a busy man up there in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes. The truth is, I think, in fact, I know there's actually 9 of those committees, and if I don't write them down, I don't always remember all of them. But those are the important ones that people would be interested in, I think.
Well, I know last week you were in the insurance meeting. We didn't get a chance to talk to you. Didn't get asked you the question that a lot of people in this area are concerned about the issue in Okefenokee Swamp, the possible mining. So what do you know about that, and what's your stance on that?
I signed that bill simply to get the conversation out there. The bill that's going through the process right now would not stop this. This mine that they're going to start with is a test mine, and there's a good bit of land that they own that they would move on to if that test mine turns out okay. Obviously, we've got to be incredibly careful about what we do near that mine. If it's proven, and it may be, that it will not harm the swamp, then I don't have any problem with it. You can't just take people's property away from them and take their mineral rights away from them without some due process. But if there's any chance it's going to harm that swamp, we don't need to do it.
If you're just tuning in, and we've got on the phone State Representative Buddy DeLoach. As you mentioned, things are going to start heating up in Atlanta. I'm sure there's going to be some debated bills. What can you look forward to, and tell us, what are going to be some of the highly contested legislation?
The most attention at the moment is turned to a bill to define anti-Semitism in the state of Georgia. That's going through judiciary. I've sat through hours of testimony in that committee. Through that testimony, I discovered that there are things that go on in our state today that you would not conceive of happening in a culture like ours. You just couldn't believe the cruelty and the hatred that's expressed towards some people, and when they talk about what's happening to some children in school, some Jewish children, and how they're treated, it's just heartbreaking. So what this bill will do, it will, some school systems say, well, we can't really be sure what anti-Semitism is. So what this bill will do is define anti-Semitism. So when certain actions occur that are illegal or harmful, you can go back and say, was it motivated by anti-Semitism? They're not outlawing anti-Semitism in itself in the form of speech and that kind of thing. It's just that if you have an occurrence, then you can go back and determine whether or not it was caused by anti-Semitism. So it's a fairly complicated bill. Most of the committee are lawyers, and they can spend an awful lot of time on one word at a time, but it's important for them to do that and get this right.
And you're up in Atlanta. You get out of Atlanta every weekend, or what's your schedule like? Do you stay up there, or do you get back to the district, or what's Buddy DeLoach's schedule?
We normally finish up on Thursday afternoon. That's something new. We've always been here on Friday before, but with a new speaker, he's got us on a schedule, and we got an adjournment resolution, and we won't be here on a Friday until the last couple of weeks of the session. So I try to get out of here Thursday afternoon and get home Thursday night and have Friday to go to my real job and spend a little time in the insurance office. So that's a welcome change.
And explain your district. I know what you have a portion of Wayne County. What portion of Wayne County do you represent again?
I represent the northern portion of Wayne County. I think there's one precinct up there. It's the part of the county that joins Long County, and of course I represent all of Long and a little bit of Liberty. I represent all of McIntosh and a good bit of Glenn.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of county commissioners and school board members and chambers of commerce to see over the course of a term.
Are you hearing from your constituents while you're up in Atlanta, and what's on their minds?
You know, I've heard more about ranked choice voting than anything else. There seems to be a group from county to county that's in touch with each other, and they're aware of this bill. And you normally hear more from people that are opposed to something than that are for it. And I don't hear many people that are for ranked choice voting.
Explain what ranked choice voting is.
When you cast your ballot, you select your number one choice, and then you make a number two choice and a number three choice. And if your number one choice is not, if your number one choice is gets the least number of votes, that one is thrown out, and they go to your number two choice and award that to those that are left. And then they eliminate the one with the least number of votes again, and they continue to do that until there's just one left.
And you're saying most people are not for that?
It's confusing, and if their candidate's not there, they want to get another look or a second chance to make that decision. I think we should consider treating every election just like a special election and let everybody qualify and get in, Democrats, Republicans, independents, whoever wants to get in there. We give them an opportunity to have a designation by their name to indicate whether they're Republican or Democrat. But you could do that in August. And if nobody gets a majority of votes, then you could have the top two vote getters on the ballot in November. If one person got a majority, then they would be the only name on the ballot in November. So you could have two Republicans or two Democrats, or it would just be the top two vote getters. One thing I think is very attractive about that is we worry about extremism if you have a totally safe district, Democratic or Republican. That tends to produce the most radical members. If you had everybody able to vote, I think it would eliminate some of that extremism if you put everybody on the same ballot the first time. That's not a simple issue, and people have to spend a lot of time thinking through that to warm up to it. But I think it's a possibility. That way, instead of having 4 elections, you'd have only 2.
Once again, if you just joining us, Buddy Deloach on the phone. Before the session began, there was a lot of talk about doing away with runoff elections. I haven't heard anything while the session's underway about that. Where do we stand on that issue?
Well, that's what all these proposals would do. If you had ranked choice, the other name for ranked choice is instant runoff. So you keep going through that process that we talked about until somebody wins. So there would be no runoff. The current proposal would be used only in municipal elections at this point, but it's obviously the move toward statewide ranked choice.
Again, we always ask our representatives if somebody out there, one of your constituents, wants to get in touch with Buddy Deloach, what's the best way to get in touch with you while you're up there in Atlanta?
I prefer that if they can send me an email. My personal email is buddydeloach at call my office, and I should have that number, but I don't have it right in front of me. But if they Google me, they will get an office number, and the importance of having that number is my admin in that office will track me down wherever I am, and I know if she calls me or she will text me, and I can return a call. That's probably the best way to do that. When we're in meetings and we're in places that we can't take calls during the day, if I get that text telling me to call somebody in Wayne County, you can bet I'm going to return that call.
I know you're a big sports fan. Super Bowl Sunday is this Sunday. You got a favorite?
You know, I am a big sports fan, but I will confess for the last few years, 4 or 5, I have watched very, very little professional football. I just, of course, as you know, I'm a Georgia graduate, a great Bulldog fan, and I enjoy other sports, but I just don't watch that much professional football anymore. It happens on Sunday afternoon most of the time, or Sunday evening, and I have other things to do that day.
I understand. Well, again, we always appreciate you being here. Appreciate you calling in on Wednesdays. When you see Bill, tell him, again, we haven't forgotten. So tell him we haven't seen him at the Country Club golf course lately. So he normally plays with our 1230 group. So he must be a busy man up there. Ask him where he's been. I haven't seen him at the golf course lately.
I will, and I'll tell him it's Wednesdays without work hours.
There you go. But again, appreciate you calling in, buddy. Thank you very much.
All right, take care, buddy. All right. And State Representative Buddy Deloach here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. Well, you know he's up there in Atlanta Monday through Thursday.
I'm sure he's coming back to the district too. Like I said, he's
Saturday's
he's
normally
normally
he could be there.
I know that's when he
That's
comes.
usually when he's there.
He's there at 12. He's part
I
of our
guess they're in
12:30
this
group.
legislative session right now. He's so busy that he's got to stay at home on the weekends instead of getting out and about. You'll probably see him back again after the session at the end of March.
Yeah. Probably he might be one of those ones that he's a 70s golfer. He only plays when it's 70 degrees or better. So it wasn't in the 70s last Saturday, so maybe that's what it was.
It could be. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the fact that he's out of town.
But he's played a lot with our
12.
He's played a lot with our 12:30 group. So just hadn't seen him in a while.
Okay.
Pretty good golfer too.
Is he? Well, good. All right. And it's good to be able to hear from all three this week. Mondays with Stephen Meeks, State Representative Stephen Meeks on Monday. And then State Senator Blake Tillery yesterday, and today State Representative Buddy Deloach, all here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, getting us updated on what's going on there under the Gold Dome during this legislative session. That ranked voting is kind of out there, isn't it?
It's kind of hard to understand. I didn't really get the gist of it.
How can you do a first and second? First of all, you've got the parties that pick their candidates. That's they don't have to do it, but they do. Okay, the parties pick their own candidates, and for the general election, so you have the runoff for the Republican candidates. You have the runoffs. Well, I mean, you got not the runoffs, but you got the election for the Republicans, the Democrats. That's usually in the spring or early summer, and then the winner of those represent their party in the general election. And of course, in the general election, you can have other candidates on there, which you do. You got the Libertarian, and sometimes you got independents on there and stuff like that. They hardly ever win, but you can still have them on there. And, you couldn't have a Republican go on there and say, well, my first choice is this Republican, my second choice is Democrat. That's not going to work. Or you wouldn't have a Democrat saying my first choice is a Democrat or Republican. Then the Republican. So I just don't know how that would be done there. It seems like it's easier to me just to say, all right, we're not going to have a runoff. The person with the most votes wins, even though it's not 50%. That would be to me the easiest way of doing it.
I thought that's what this discussion was before they got to legislation. Like I said, these runoffs are very expensive for small counties like us. So the talk was to just do away with the runoffs, and if you didn't need 50%, whoever got the most votes wins. So be done with it. So. But I hadn't heard anything about that up in the legislation thus far. So
far, it's been kind of quiet about that. I guess they're looking at all kinds of options up there about the best way of handling that. But really, you got the primaries with the Republicans picking their candidate, the Democrat picking their candidates, and then they face off against each other in the general election in November, along with any other candidates that may have qualified for the general election.
Another thing's expensive, these 3 weeks of early voting. I mean, I don't know why they just get it down to 2 weeks, but it is what it is. But counties like us, it's a very expensive process.
Right. It is an expensive process, but I don't understand why it takes so long for folks to vote, but that's the way it is. And I think at one time we asked one of our representatives of some sort, they said, it started out at 6 weeks, but they reduced it to 3 weeks. And I don't think you'll ever get it less than that. There's too many people out there that would just moan and groan and gnash their teeth if a person didn't have 3 weeks to vote, and Saturdays and all that kind of stuff like that. So it's 3 weeks, a couple of Saturdays, and then the election day itself. And I'm an election day type of guy. I go on that Tuesday, and that's when I vote.
Yeah, the good old days were the good old days. Like I said, go online and buy all these tickets now, these concerts. They should be like the old days. You have to stand in line to get it.
Most people buy tickets these days online.
I still remember getting those 1980 national championship tickets. Had to be there like at 4:00 in the morning to get in line. So, but it was well worth it. Got those tickets for the Sugar Bowl. So, but that's what we need to go back to. If you want a ticket,
you had to have tickets to get it.
You have to show that you really want the tickets. You should get it. You shouldn't have to be able to get on the phone and get it just quick. You need to go stand in line and get those tickets.
Most things are done ticket-wise online these days.
They're all crashing.
They crash. It's hard to get through. You've got people out there who get things set up where they can get in and get tickets to be able to scalp them and stuff like that. It's a process.
Go back to the old way.
It ain't going back.
Stand in line to get
people are hooked to their electronics. I mean, you take the people's smartphones away from it, and they don't know what to do. They become jittery. They don't know what to do. They're looking down their hands. They're trying to reach their pocket or side there to pick out the phone there. They just it's like you take people's smartphones away. It's like taking drugs away from a drug addict. Man, they go nuts. Yeah,
I said all the time. If one country wants to shut down the United States, just shut down the phone system. Because everybody uses their phone for everything these days.
Yeah. Well, never in history.
We'd be lost without our phones.
Yeah, I know we would be lost. Right here, it's attached to us. A lot of people, it's the last thing they look at when they go to sleep. It's the first thing they look at when they wake up in the morning. A lot of folks got more of an emotional attachment to their phone than they do to people. Let's see. Do I want my spouse or do I want my phone? You got to choose. Oh, that's a hard decision. But, never in the history of mankind have we had basically the entire world's knowledge at our fingertips. All we got to do is just punch it in there, and anything that we want to know and things that we don't want to know are right there. And they say that eventually one day they'll be able to get this phone with this kind of knowledge in it and this kind of capability to access knowledge, a chip in our brain. So what happens then when you've got people out there with chips in the brain where they can access all the knowledge like you can with a smartphone? Do you even need to go to school? You read all these things about the future and what it's going to bring. It's amazing what the projections are on what will become a combination of our bodies and brain, our carbon existence, and we'll merge in with AI, with the artificial intelligence. Some of these movies that you see may come true one day.
They may.
They just may.
I want to remind everybody the Career Expo is today. Again, Chamber of Commerce has been gearing up for this for several weeks, but it all takes place today. So if you're looking for a job or a new career, they said they're going to have on-site interviews taking place today. They've got job openings today. Again, that all takes place at the Coastal Pines Technical College. 3 to 7 is the time this afternoon. So should be a big crowd there today.
Yep. If you're looking for a job, get on out there and see them, because you got some of the biggest industries around and other businesses that are going to be there. And not only can you get information about the people, the industries and the businesses, many of them, like you said, are going to be doing interviews. You might be able to wrap up a job real soon. Like that's going on today, 3 to 7, there at the Coastal Pines Technical College in the Polytech Center.
And again, before Super Bowl Sunday, they've got the $10,000 annual drawing at the Pine Forest Country Club. We've got Coach J. Bo Shaw and President of Touchdown Club, John McElwain, Treasurer Bill Parker on our guest tomorrow. And on Friday, we'll have Heather Altman with the Tourism Board in here to talk about the big hog jam that's coming up on February 17th to the 19th. So annual hog jam, always a popular event for those hunters.
Yes,
They're
it is.
hunting hogs.
Hunting them hogs. Yep, hunting them hogs. Making them pork chops.
Like I said, I don't like hunting them, but I like eating
You
them.
like eating them. Hog Jam coming up there. Just a big event put on by the Wayne County Tourism Board to bring tourism in, and it does a good job. It's very popular every single year.
Heather will be here Friday to give us all the details. So looking forward to that. But
Are they doing the coon jam this year? Are they doing a coon hunt this year? I mean, I went to the Wayne County Board of Tourism site and they tell all about it, but it says date TBA, to be determined, or not to be TBD, to be determined.
We'll ask her when she's here Friday.
Yeah. I got all the information there, the payouts, everything there except for the date. And I hadn't heard or seen anything. By now in February is usually when it's done, or January. It's just, it's always done close to the hog jam in that area. So if they had a coon hunt this year, coon hunting competition, hadn't heard anything about it. So I don't know if they just decided not to do it or just didn't promote it or what the case may be. Even though all the information about it's on the website, just not any dates. So Heather's going to be here. What you said, Friday. We can ask her all about it. Yes, sir.
I'm sure she has the answer.
Yeah, because they do it in the winter, January, February. So we'll see what happens with that. But the hog jam coming up, and the next thing you know, you'll have the big fishing tournaments coming up in June and August. Promoting our natural resources here in Wayne County. We got a lot of it, and it brings a lot of folks here to Wayne County to hunt and fish and bird watch and kayak and canoe and all the boating and all that kind of stuff.
Got a busy calendar. They stay busy.
Yep. A lot of times when you live in a small community and you say, well, why would tourists come here? Well, our natural resources are just most excellent here in Wayne County. Most excellent. Another big tourism draw here in Wayne County and Jesup is the drive-in. There's only 3 that I know of still left in the state. So a lot of folks like that experience of a drive-in, and they're able to come here to the Jesup drive-in and watch a movie under the stars. Okay, any new news for the Super Bowl coming up with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs?
Not really. Just trying to see who's all healthy for Kansas City. I said they're trying to get some of their receivers back that got injured in that championship game. So McCole Hardman from Georgia, he's definitely out. They put him on IR yesterday, so he's not going to be able to play, which is a big loss for the Chiefs. So because he's one of their punt returners and kickoff returner as well. Good speed, but he's not going to be able to play in the game. Again? McCole Hardman.
Okay. I was reading an article yesterday online about this guy breaking down. They broke down the Chiefs versus the Eagles in every quarterbacks, offensive line, defensive line, running backs, receivers, and all that kind of stuff. And in just about every single category, they had the Eagles had that stronger unit. They had the stronger offensive line unit, the stronger defensive unit, lot bigger, better linebackers. They still, they had quarterback, of course. Mahomes is the best quarterback. They had the best coach as Andy Reid, but most of the other positions of the teams, they had the Eagles having the better squad. But they said Mahomes is going to have a Mahomes type game for them to win, and no reason why he can't.
I'm sure he will. I still say that AFC's got better teams than the NFC.
Oh, you think?
I think that. Yeah, I think the Chiefs have been better tested than the Eagles.
Let's see. I think the NFC won last year. The NFC won the year before that.
name another good team in the NFC besides the Eagles. Vikings, no. Cowboys, no. I mean, the Chiefs had to go through Jacksonville, very good team. Buffalo, excellent team. Cincinnati, good team.
Mm-hmm. All those are good teams.
So name another NFC team that's good.
I just know the last 2 Super Bowls been NFC teams. Kansas City was, Cincinnati was beat last year. Kansas City the year before. Yeah.
Mahomes magic. Just remember
Mahomes
that.
magic's going to do it, huh?
Yep.
You think so?
Kansas City.
Okay.
Go Chiefs.
All right.
Can't pour. Can you actually,
I can't pull for Eagles. No.
I was going to say, it's a diehard dog fan.
No.
You going to pull for an Alabama quarterback to win the Super Bowl?
No. I wouldn't dare pull for the Eagles to win. I'm just telling you what I'm like you. My heart's with Kansas City. My logic says that Philadelphia's going to win, but my heart's with Kansas City because I want them to win. But it's not like a passionate thing. It's like, well, if they win, that's great. If they don't, then well. Because
for most fans, they just want to see a good game, and it should be. Looking at it, the odds makers are, they're torn. I mean, I've never seen. I'm trying to think of a Super Bowl that's had the line this low. I mean, normally it's a 3-point game, or at least but this is just it's been a pick 'em most of the week, a 1.5 at the most. So, I mean, odds makers in Vegas, they're kind of perplexed as well. So, should be a heck of a ball game.
Yeah,
just hope it lives up to the hype.
Yeah,
I hope it's not a 9-3 ball game.
Last year I really wanted the Rams to win because he had Matthew Stafford, former Georgia quarterback for the Rams, and then the year before that I was kind of pulling for Brady to win another one with a new team. This year if Kansas City wins, that's fine. I'd rather for them to win than Philadelphia, but I'm not passionate about either one.
I'm not either, but I just want Andy Reid and Kansas City to win.
Yeah.
Can't afford it. Like I said, being a diehard Steeler fan, we're anti-Philadelphia, so go Kansas City.
Yeah.
Plus, I like Andy Reid, like I said.
Yeah. Good coach.
Patrick Mahomes, great quarterback. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting. Should be a good ball game.
All right. Well, Bob, you have a good day. All right. The world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO, brought to you by First Southern Bank, Van's Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn & Associates.